conditions. We know we're looking at that rain that is still falling in the East Valley. We also have some issues on our roadways like the 17. Off to the right-hand side, we do still have those flashing lights after a crash near Northern Avenue. So we're watching everything for you. We'll bring you an update on some of the slowdowns on your Tuesday. We do have some wet roads in the East Valley. A heads up for you if you're about to get out the door. And we got a crash to let you know about on the Red Mountain Freeway. It is in that eastbound direction near about Center Parkway, near about Country Club. Here's that live view where we see that HOV lane blocked off with a couple of those first responders. Luckily, folks are able to move along through this area pretty easily, given we've mostly got those green flows. This is the eastbound direction, and this is the East Valley, too. We know your rush hour really doesn't start till a little bit later in the morning, but with those wet roads, with those flashing lights, wanted to make sure you got that warning. I-17 in that southbound direction. This is near about Northern Avenue. We also still have DPS off to the right-hand side after a crash happened. It was right around 4:15. We had all the lanes blocked off for several minutes until they reopened right around 4:30 in the morning. But you're still going to see DPS on the scene there of that injury crash that we're still waiting to get some more information on. But those traffic flows, they've returned to the green, at least in that area. Here's a wide view across the valley. Looking okay right now. We'll keep you posted as we get you a check of some of those desert drive times. Got to send things over to meteorologist Jorge Torres, giving us a view of how long some of that rain may last for that morning ride, Jorge.
Yeah, thanks, Megan. Good morning.
Now, of those current traffic conditions with that rain coming down in the East Valley, you see those ADA cameras with the water sticking to it. Drivers picking up some of that water, too, on the roadways here near about Mesa Drive. We'll look at any of those trouble spots for you so you know what to expect. Those current traffic conditions right now, sponsored by Excellent Law Group. Good morning, I'm Megan Thompson. Yes, we're waking up to some rain across the valley that meteorologist Jorge Torres is tracking, including in the East Valley. Some good news to share with you, though. We had that crash on the Red Mountain Freeway in that eastbound direction near about Country Club, blocking the HOV lane. I was watching those ADOT cameras behind the scenes and saw all of those first responders leave the scene not too long ago. So those green flows, they are there. Those flashing lights are gone. Where we are seeing slowing now, starting to begin, is on the I-10 now, that eastbound direction, as you're making your way from the West Valley towards that 101 area. Zooming into that area at speeds about 35 miles per hour. There is that live view near 91st Avenue here this morning. We'll get you a check of some of those desert drive times. Thompson with a check of Traffic Planner Plus, letting you know what to expect with those desert drive times, especially since we are seeing some rain in the valley. Let's track that West Valley ride for you first. I-10 eastbound from the 303 over to the 17. We're getting close to a half hour here this morning. Grand Avenue from the 101 over to the I-17 is 20 minutes as we track the 101 in that southbound direction from Grand Avenue. As you're driving to connect with the I-10, that should take you 9 minutes. Still looking at those green flows there. We know the rain is coming down mostly in the East Valley, where it has been, where some of those roads may still be wet, but we're still seeing green conditions for you across the board. Doesn't mean you still shouldn't use caution as you're working your way through some of those areas and give yourself a little bit of extra time. The Red Mountain Freeway, the 60 and the 101, all looking good in green and no crashes to report to you through that area. The North Valley commute, the I-17, that southbound direction of the Black Canyon Highway from the 101 to that stack interchange there where the 17 and the 10 freeways meet. 16 minutes is what we're looking at. So getting a little bit elevated here this morning as you head out the door. 11 minutes, though, on the 51 from the 101 to the mini stack. No issues there. About 11 minutes on the 101, that eastbound direction as you travel from the Agua Fria side of the roadway past the Little Stack and over to the Desert Ridge area here on this Tuesday. But they are definitely causing some issues. So the I-17, this is a view right now of that northbound direction near about Deer Valley. So just north of the North Stack with the 17 and the 101 within the last few moments, kind of blocking off some of those left lanes here this morning to try and assess what's going on there in that area. So we'll keep you posted on that to see if more lanes start to be blocked off and what that does to some of those speeds. Want to bring you to your maps because we've got another crash too, and it's right at the Stack interchange. Your speed's dropping to below 5 miles per hour. You're trying to make that transition there at the Stack, working your way in that northbound direction to the 17, or maybe continuing from that Stack interchange area in that westbound direction on I-10. This is what you're going to see, those flashing lights, mostly off to the right-hand side, but it is causing that slight slowdown as you're working your way westbound. We'll keep tabs on both of those scenes and give you a wide view across the valley. Still ahead, Nick.
And now to that break
for you here on this Tuesday. Continuing to watch this scene here on the I-10 right there near the Stack interchange near about 27th Avenue. It's for drivers in that westbound direction, or you folks making your way up from the 17 in that northbound direction, then transitioning to the 10 westbound. Here's a live view of that scene right now. We've got plenty of vehicles, flashing lights off to the right-hand side. A tow truck is on scene, which is always a welcome sight to try and get the vehicles involved in this crash just out of the way. Speeds in that area, they're just slightly reduced to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. It is a short slowdown. You're going to see those green flows return pretty quickly there. Flying you up to the northern part of the valley, we still have this crash on the I-17 northbound near Deer Valley Road, but they have been able to move most of that DPS activity and the vehicles involved in this crash also off to the right-hand side. So watch for that. It's not typical in that area north of the North Stack. We'll get you a check of some of those desert drive times coming up in just a couple minutes, but got to send things over to Jorge for a look. Looking at the 17 north of the North Stack, where the 17 the 101 come together near about Deer Valley, and then we're looking south of that Stack interchange, mostly along that Durango curve area, where we've also got some issues. So there's that scene partially blocking that right lane, again near about 19-2. Like I mentioned, they were able to move a lot of those first responders and those vehicles involved off right. We'll track some of those desert drive times for you with Traffic Planner Plus on this Tuesday still ahead.
Okay, Megan, we appreciate that right now.
Traffic Planner Plus as we give you the rundown on those desert drive times all across the valley. Starting with that West Valley ride along I-10. We know this spot typically slows down, and after that President's Day holiday, yeah, everybody's back out on the roads here on this Tuesday. 35 minutes on the 10 from the 303 over to that Stack interchange at the 17 and the 10 where those two freeways meet up. US 60 Grand Avenue from the 101 Agua Fria over to the 17, sitting at 30 minutes and 10 minutes on the 101 as you travel from Grand Avenue to then hop onto the I-10. Your East Valley commute where we have been seeing some of that rain. The only spot we've seen some slowing is US 60 westbound from the 202 to the 10. Looking pretty good on spots like the Red Mountain Freeway and the 101. Even the 60, it's not too bad. No crashes to slow you down. Just more folks getting out the door. Here's a view of that drive time on the 17 from the 101 over to that Stack interchange, the I-10. There in that southbound direction, 23 minutes, 17 minutes on the 51 from the 101 to that mini Stack interchange. And we're looking at just shy of 20 minutes if you travel on the 101, that eastbound direction, heading from about 75th Avenue, heading past the North Stack and over to that Desert Ridge area here on this Tuesday, Nick.
All right, Megan, thank you. The Diocese of